Oh, ow, Jesus, it's too heavy. Oh, my heart is literally pounding. I'm too unfit for this. I'm legit pulling back muscles for this thumbnail. Oh, fuck. Oh, I've got to put them all away. Hi guys, it's Jodie and welcome to a new video. So today I'm going to be talking about all of the books that are on my February TBR, and this is probably one of the best TBRs I've ever put together, and I'm so excited to make my way through these books. I have so many romance books on here, obviously, because it's February, it's Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day or whatever you want to call it. I've recently been reading a few romance novels and loving them, so I wanted to continue on with the theme, and obviously February is the perfect time for that. So if you're looking to see what is on my TBR, if you're looking for some fantasy romance recommendations or some romance recommendations, some manga and so on, then keep watching this video because I'm going to be talking about a lot of books. I have a very ambitious TBR. I am definitely not going to make my way through all of these, but these are all of the books on my list that I do want to pick from in February. I'm also going on a trip where I will be reading a lot, hopefully, so I'm planning to get through at least 5 or 6 books that week, so that's why this is so big. I may read other books that aren't included in this video, I don't know. I'm going to see how I feel and what I want to take and things like that. But yes, I have a lot of books to talk about, so it's probably going to be quite a long video because of how many books I have to talk about. So go and get yourself a nice hot drink, get a blanket, get cozy, get comfy, and let's make our way through this huge pile of books I have next to me. Okay, so we'll start with romance books first. So the first romance book I definitely want to read in February is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas, and yeah, you guys have seen this book everywhere. It's popular on BookTok. It won the Goodreads Romance Book of the Year, I think was what it won. Loads of my friends have read this and loved this, and just loads of people talk about it in general, and I haven't read it yet and I really want to. It's a slow burn romance, I'm told, and I love the sound of this. It has the fake dating trope going on in it as well, and it just has everything that I love by the sounds of it, so I'm so excited for this one. Basically this is kind of set around a wedding in Spain, and in this we have Catalina, and she has told her family that she has like an American boyfriend. I think she's living in New York City, and this is a lie, she doesn't. She's just told them that to like them off her back, and obviously just to make it look like she's in a relationship. And she has this family wedding to attend. I think it's her sister's wedding in Spain, and obviously they're expecting her to bring this American boyfriend. Her ex is going to be there and his new fiance as well, so yeah, it will be super awkward and embarrassing for her if she shows up without a boyfriend. And then we have Aaron Blackford, who offers to step in, and she thinks that he is an aggravating, blood-boiling and insufferable man and a blue-eyed pain in the arse. So it sounds like she doesn't like him very much, and I'm really interested to know why. I don't know if this might be like light enemies to lovers maybe, or like Grumpy Sunshine or something, I'm not too sure, but yeah, I've heard a lot of things about this Aaron Blackford and I'm excited. So yeah, he offers to step in and be like her fake wedding date and like go all the way to Spain with her from New York, and she's desperate obviously, so in the end she said yes, and I suspect it might be a case of the guy falls first and he's like offered because he's always liked her maybe. That's my guess. I hope that's the case because I love those kinds of romances. Yeah, this is supposed to be like a steamy slow burn romance, so I'm so excited to read this. I definitely plan to get to this in February, and I'm already predicting 5 stars, to be honest. Like, I know I'm gonna love this. Next we have The Heart Principle by Helen Hoang, and I only recently bought this because I read The Kiss Quotient last summer and I absolutely loved it. I read it in like a day or maybe just over a day. I just literally flew through it. I loved it, and I was in the bookstore browsing and I saw this one, and I've heard about it but I just never bought it, and I was like, do you know what, I'm gonna get that. I'll probably read it on my trip just as like a quick read to get through. So I did, and I'm really excited. All I know is that we've got a motorcycle riding tattooed guy in here, and that's pretty much all I know. I don't really know anything else about it. I just know it's another romance, and like I said, I really liked her writing in her last novel, so I really want to read this one. It says on the back, a woman struggling with burnout learns to embrace the unexpected, and man she enlists to help her in this heartfelt romance. So yeah, it sounds really good. I like the fact that it's got like a biker in it. Sounds really hot. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I don't really want to know anything else. I know I'm gonna like this because I like her writing style, so I'll just go into it and enjoy it, and I can't wait. I feel like this is going to be one that I am probably going to binge in a day, and yeah, I can't wait. So this next one is an arc I was very kindly sent, and that is 12 Days in May by Eve Hagen, and this one sounds so good. So this is set in Cannes Film Festival, and we have this like director of this film that everyone's talked about. It's like this huge romance movie, and there's some kind of trouble at the film festival, and our main character Lizzie ends up having to help this like director of this really like popular film, and he's described as being like a heartthrob, but nobody really knows that like 12 years prior they were actually best friends, and then something happened and they haven't spoken since. So obviously now like they're gonna help each other out and, you know, finally start talking again. And yeah, I think things get pretty heated between them, so this sounds really good. I'm excited to see obviously why they stop speaking, if they get over it, and if they fall in love, which, let's be honest, they're probably gonna fall in love, and I'm so excited for that. I just love romance books so much, and yeah, I'm excited for this one. So this actually comes out in April this year, so this is the book here. This is what it looks like. So if you guys were interested in this, you can pre-order it now, but I'm really excited about this. I can't wait to read it. HarperCollins is the publisher, so yeah, thank you to HarperCollins for sending me this, and hopefully I get around to reading it in February. Okay, so this next book I have spoken about, and I'm going to be starting as soon as possible because I recently finished the kind of first book for this. So that is Hook, Line and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. So this is technically the second novel in a series, so this is kind of like a follow-up to It Happened One Summer, which I read recently. You can listen to my thoughts about it in my wrap-up. I will link it here and down below. I also did a review, which I will also link. I love that book. I gave it 5 stars, and I'm so unbelievably excited for this. It's one of my most anticipated releases. This basically follows the main character's sister in the first book and the love interest's best friend in the first book, so we have those in here and their romance, and I'm really excited for this. That's pretty much all I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to say anything else. It's a romance, and if you haven't read It Happened One Summer, then you should go and read it so you can read this one. And if you've already read It Happened One Summer, then this should be on your list. So yes, I'm very excited for this one. I just know I'm gonna love it after loving that one so much, and yeah, I need to start this book immediately. Like, I'm so excited for this. I know I'm gonna love it. I'm already predicting 5 stars, and I'm predicting it's gonna be one of my favorite books of the year because, like, I loved Hannah's character in the first book, so I just know I'm going to love her even more in this one. These next 2 books are part of the Twisted series. Now, I believe the 3rd book just came out, but it's not available with Waterstones yet, so I obviously don't have it, but I am planning to read the 1st and 2nd one. So the first one is Twisted Love and the 2nd is Twisted Games, and these are both by Anna Huang, and I'm so excited for these. These are both romance books I've seen kind of floating around the internet, and I'm so excited for them. So I got both of these from Waterstones, and I'll read the synopsis for both because I don't know a ton about them. I just saw like a lot of good reviews for them, and I was like, I'm gonna buy them because I just want romance, and I want like romance I've not really heard of before, if that makes sense. So I decided to get these, and I want to read them. So this one says, Alex Volkov is a devil blessed with the face of an angel and cursed with a past he can't escape. Driven by a tragedy that has haunted him for most of his life, his ruthless pursuits for success and vengeance leave little room for matters of the heart. But when he's forced to look after his best friend's sister, ooh, best friend sister romance. I love these kind of romances. Oh yes, please. He starts to feel something in his chest, a crack, a melt, a fire that could end his world as he knew it. Ava Chen is a free spirit trapped by nightmares of a childhood she can't remember, but despite her broken past, she's never stopped seeing the beauty in the world, including the heart beneath the icy exterior of a man she shouldn't want, her brother's best friend, her neighbour, her saviour, and her downfall. Theirs is a love that was never supposed to happen, but when it does, it unleashes secrets that could destroy them both or everything they hold dear. And on the front it also says, he has a heart of ice, but for her he'd burn the world. Oh yes. Yes, that one line on the front is what makes me want to read this book. I'm so freaking excited. And then the 2nd book follows Reese Larson, and it says, stoic, brooding, arrogant, the elite bodyguard has 2 rules. 1, protect his clients at all costs. 2, do not become emotionally involved ever. So we have a bodyguard romance. I've never read one of those before. He has never once been tempted to break those rules until her. Bridget von Ashberg, a princess with a stubborn streak that matches his own and a hidden fire that reduces his heart to ash. She's nothing he expected and everything he never knew he needed. Day by day, inch by inch, she breaks down his defenses until he's faced with a truth he can no longer deny. He swore an oath to protect her, but all he wants is to ruin her, take her, because she's his princess, his forbidden fruit, his every depraved fantasy. This is making me laugh. Regal, strong-willed and bound by the change of duty, Princess Bridget dreams of the freedom to live and love as she chooses. When her brother abdicates, she's suddenly faced with the prospect of a loveless, politically expedient marriage and a throne she never wanted. And as she navigates the intricacies and treacheries of her new role, she must hide her desire for a man she can't have. Her bodyguard, her protector, her ultimate ruin. Unexpected and forbidden, theirs is a love that could destroy a kingdom and doom them both. So we have royalty in here, and we have forbidden romance, and a bodyguard romance. So these two books just have all the tropes and I'm so excited. Never read a bodyguard romance before, so I'm very excited for this one. But yes, I've heard a lot of good things about both of these books and I'm excited to give them a read and see if I love them as well. Next we have Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie, and the reason that I recently bought this series is because my friend Liv over on Instagram loves the series and she just said like I absolutely need to read them. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna order them all. I trust your recommendations. So I'm very excited because I now have all of the books. I don't have the spin-off series, but I have like the main series. So this is the Addicted series and it says on the front, 2 best friends, liars, lovers, addicts, 1 epic love story. So I don't know much about any of these at all except for the fact that it's romance, and I trust Liv's recommendations. So as soon as I seen her gushing about these books, I was like, right, well, I need to get myself those books because every single book that she loves I love, and like her favorite books are also like my favorite books, so I just know like we have the same taste, and if she likes these I'm probably gonna like them too. So I ordered them all. Don't know what they're about, I just know that it's romance. I think she's addicted to sex and the guy is addicted to alcohol, so it does like cover addictions and things like that in here apparently as well, and I know there's like romance and things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I know about it. I'm so excited to read this series. I've seen a few people reading it recently and loving it, so I feel like I'm gonna fly through this as well, and like I just love big floppy books like this. So yeah, I'm very excited to read the first book. I don't know if I'll end up reading some of the other books in the series after I finish this one, it just depends, but I definitely do want to make my way to the first book in the series in February and we'll go from there. The last 2 romance books that I have are 2 Ellie Kennedy books. So I read The Deal last summer and I read it because my friend Caitlin recommended me it and I really enjoyed it. Like I just read it in like a day or something because it was just like so easy to read. It might not have been in summer, it might have actually been in like September, but I remember just starting it on a whim and then I read it in like a day and I was like, wow, okay, this was just like really fun, like cliche, cheesy, trashy romance. Like, you know, the type where the writing's not great and there is some kind of like stereotyping and stuff, but it's just the kind of romance that's just really fun and quick and easy to read and it just gets you hooked. Like that's like my kind of romance. It's like good trashy romance and I really enjoyed it, and I decided to pick up some of the other books in the series. I already had book 3, but Caitlin said that book 2 isn't great, so I never bothered ordering it at the time, but I have recently decided to get it because I just want to read it anyway. I did try to start it the other day, but like this follows a character from the first book and I just didn't like how this was starting off, so I just like put it down for now, but I do want to get through it, but I don't know, like I'm not too sure now, and I don't have like a good image of this guy in my head either, so I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. But anyway, that is The Mistake and The Score, which is book 2 and 3 in the Off-Campus series. So I recently finished Ellie Kennedy's new book as well and I friggin' loved it. It was so good, 5 stars, so I definitely want to read the rest of this series now because I just love her writing. It's just easy to read. It's nothing amazing, but it's just fun, like pure and simple fun. Like that's what it is. So yeah, I definitely do want to read these, and like I said, when I go away I like to just blitz through books and I feel like I can probably just binge read these like quite fast. So yeah, I have both of these. The Off-Campus series is basically follows different characters. So in the first book we have Hannah, and I can't remember the guy's name. Meet his friends in the book as well and some of her friends. So in book 2 this is now following one of those friends and one of her friends, and then same with book 3, so it follows different characters in each one and their romance. So yeah, it's just really good trash romance and I'm excited about it. Also, this matches my jacket really well. Okay, so moving on to fantasy romance now. This first one, apparently it has a bit of romance in, so I wouldn't really say it is fantasy romance, but I'm putting it in the pile. It's also my Patreon buddy read for February, so if you would like to join us in our buddy read, then you can join my Patreon. It will be linked down below. I'm also filming a spoiler-filled reading vlog for this book specifically. Very excited about it because I've seen so many people on Instagram, BookTok and YouTube talk about this book now, and I just have FOMO. I need to read this book. It's part of a series. It has also been mentioned on some reviews that this is like adult Harry Potter, so I'm not too sure how I'm going to feel about that, but that is the Zodiac Academy, The Awakening by Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. Yeah, I actually don't know much about this at all. I know this follows something to do with like the zodiac signs and stuff. Apparently there's some really big trigger warnings in this book. I think there's like a say in here, and it's quite kind of toxic and not very nice, but then I've also seen people say that this is really good and they love it, so I don't know. We'll see how it like falls for me personally, but I've heard like mixed things, but mostly good things. But I will read the synopsis to you guys. So it says, I'm a Gemini, impulsive, curious, headstrong, a twin, heir to a throne I know nothing about, and it turns out I'm Fae. I love Fae books. Love Fae books. But of course there's a catch. All I have to do is claim my birthright is proof that I'm the most powerful supernatural in the whole of Solaria. And sure, technically that's true, as I'm the daughter of the Savage King. What they didn't put in the brochure was that every single fae in this kingdom would have to claim my throne if they could. My biggest problem is the jewel-worthy dragon shifter who has his eyes on my throne. He and his 3 psycho friends are determined to make my time here hell. All I've got to do is survive, but fate might have other ideas. So yes, I love the sound of this. It sounds so good. In reviews I did see some things about those 3 psycho characters, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen and how this book is going to make me feel. But I've seen it's one of those series that people say it's not like amazingly written, but they just couldn't stop reading it and they just had to read them all. So yeah, I like a binge-worthy book. And this is a huge floppy paperback. Like, look at this. Oh, I just love big floppy paperbacks. That was not an innuendo. But yeah, I'm so excited for this book and to read it with my patrons. It's gonna be so much fun. How stunning is that? Wow, that's so pretty. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. I hope that I love it. So yes, that is the first fantasy romance book. Then next we have Shatter Me by Tahira Malfi. So this is a very battered copy. I read this a few years ago and honestly, like, I wasn't the biggest fan. I thought it was very repetitive and kind of weird. There's like a little bit of like an insta-lovey part, but I didn't know that this person was an endgame and that it's enemies to lovers. I did not know that. If I'd known that, I would have continued with this series and I guarantee I would have loved it, but I didn't know that. So yes, joke's on me. So I'm going to be reading this. I've seen lots of really hype for it recently and I really want to reread it now and then continue with the series. So in this we follow this girl. She's basically locked in this cell by this group of people called the Re-establishment, who kind of like, when the world kind of was like falling apart, they kind of took control, and basically there was like kind of superhuman sort of people, like people who have like gifts, and they were all kind of rounded up and put into this like weird like prison thing. So it's kind of like a dystopian, and in this we follow Juliet, and she is one of those people, but she has this really rare gift, and like if she touches someone she kills them, and in her past like she'd accidentally killed someone. So this book deals with like guilt and all those kinds of things, and she's very like a shell of herself in this place. And then we have like this guy who somehow, I don't know if he ends up in the cell next to her or he's a god or something, but she knows him from like when she was at school and everyone was like terrified of her and stuff, and she's always kind of like loved him, I think, or something weird like that. I don't even know. And then she like escapes from this place, and we have like the general of the Re-establishment called Warner like hunting her down and all this. So yeah, that's pretty much all I remember. Really excited to reread this and continue with this series, and hopefully this time I like it a lot more. Now I'm more prepared and I know what the end goal is, and I'm keeping that in my head because I've seen some fan art of Warner, and I'm not usually into like blondes, but I'm into him. I'm into him. I mean, he was blonde on the fan art, so I'm assuming he is actually blonde. I hope I didn't just make that up, but this fan art was blonde anyway. So yeah, anyways, I'm excited to reread this and just read this whole series, and I definitely do want to reread the first book at least during February. So next we have City of Thorns by Cian Crawford, and this is part of the Demon Trials series, and the reason I want to read this is because it was someone on TikTok said it was like perfect for fans of ACOTAR, so that's why I got it. And basically we have this person, I don't know what her name is, but it's her birthday, and she wakes up locked in this dungeon, and then this sexy demon appears, and he's called the Lord of Chaos, and he's mistaken her for her succubus doppelganger. And then he tastes her blood, finally understands that she's actually mortal, then they both want revenge. They make a deal. She can stay and hunt for her mum's killer, and she will also help him get the revenge that he's craving, but he's actually her like #1 murder suspect, so yeah. And then I think they start to fall for each other. So that's all I know about this. Don't know anything else. I said it's supposed to be like a fun kind of fast-paced fantasy romance kind of vibe, like The Sound of Demons. Kind of reminded me of Kingdom of the Wicked. So yes, very excited for this one. Okay, so this is another one I know nothing about. I need to stop doing this, but I just bought a load of books recently that I'd seen recommended on like BookTok and stuff. So yes, it is what it is. So this next one is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, and I've just heard everyone going on about this, and I was like, well, why not? So I got it. So we have 2 characters in here. One's called Rowan, one's called Zara, and I will read the synopsis once again. So it says, Rowan, I'm in the business of creating fairy tales, theme parks, production companies, 5-star hotels. Everything could be all mine if I renovated Dreamland. My initial idea of hiring Zara was a good theory, but then I kissed her. Things spiraled out of control once I texted her using an alias. By the time I realized where I went wrong, it was too late. People like me don't get happy endings, and not when we're destined to ruin them. And then it says, Zara, after submitting a drunk proposal criticising Dreamlord's most expensive ride, I should have been fired. Instead, Rowan Kane offered me a dream job. The catch, I had to work for the most difficult boss I'd ever met. Rowan was rude and completely off limits, but my heart didn't care. At least not until I discovered his secret. It was time to teach the billionaire that money couldn't fix everything, especially not for us. So this sounds so good. I'm so excited. Cannot wait to read this. I had so many good things about it, and yeah, I just love romance. Okay, so next we have Neon Gods by Katie Roberts, and all I know about this is Persephone and Hades retelling. It's romance, there's vengeance, and yeah, it's spicy. So don't need to know anything else about this one. I don't want to know anything else about it. I love any Persephone and Hades retellings. Love A Touch of Darkness. If it's anywhere near as good as that, then I'm definitely gonna love it. I've heard this is very, very smutty, very, very fun romance to read. So yes, I'm really excited for it, and it's another one that kind of matches my shirt as well. So yeah, it's a vibe. But yeah, very, very excited for this one. So next we have this Woven Kingdom by Tahira Murphy, which is out on the 3rd of February. So this is an arc I haven't got around to reading. This is basically a forbidden romance, and we have like kingdoms in here and someone who's like really powerful but is like, I think, a servant and no one knows. She's like a long lost heir or something, and the prince can't get this girl out of his mind, but she's also the person who's going to bring the downfall of his entire kingdom. And we have forbidden romance in here. I'm just so excited. This is a new fantasy series and I just think it's going to be amazing. Like, I honestly cannot wait. Okay, so this next book will actually be a reread for me, and I don't know for sure if I will, because the second book comes out in just under 2 weeks now or something, or around 2 weeks. So realistically, I just don't think I'm gonna read this entire book in time, which sucks because I need to reread this before I read the second one. So I might not get to read the second one as soon as it comes out because I won't finish this one. So I don't know. But that is A House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J Maas, which is the first book in the Crescent City series. I'm not going to go into what this is about because I've spoken about it so many times recently and just in general on my channel. I did do a spoiler-free reading vlog and review when I read an arc of this book when it came out, so I will pop the link to that here and down in the description box if you do want to know more about it and see my thoughts and just my bland reactions to things. It was a really fun vlog. I love that vlog. But yeah, basically this is a urban fantasy. We've got loads of supernatural creatures in here. We've got murder mystery, fae, badass women, and sexy angels. So yes, that's pretty much how to sum up this book. I really want to reread it. Hopefully I do, but we shall see. Then the next book I have is Comes to Rise by CC Penaranda. I don't know if this is fantasy romance, but I do want to read this book. It's a fantasy. It's for fans of A Throne of Glass, and it has magic in here. We have like a woman who knows how to wield a sword, which is my favourite kind, and lots of other things. I think there's a bit of romance. That's pretty much all I know. I have spoken about this in a book haul, so you can go there if you want to find out more about it, or you can just Google this book, but I'm not going to go into it again. But basically it's a really cool fantasy series with a really cool main character, and I've been told it's for fans of A Throne of Glass, so that's the main reason I want to read it. And this cover is so cool, and also like, I love this. That one extra little detail just goes a long way with me. Like, I just love it. Okay, so then I have 3 other books I'm going to show here, which are all like thriller, romance, fiction books, and these are all by Colleen Hoover. So I am planning to read my first Colleen Hoover in the month of February, and I was planning to do a vlog series or one giant vlog reading as many of her books as possible. However, because I have a busy month and a lot of books to get through, I don't think I'll be reading all of her books. So I picked out 3 that I do want to read, which are these 3, and they are probably the most popular ones. So we have Verity, and this is a kind of thriller. I believe there's a tiny bit of romance in here. We have this writer who gets this girl to come and help him like write or something like that. She stays with him and shit starts to go really creepy and weird. That's pretty much all I know. Very, very excited to read this one. I did put up an Instagram post asking which book I should read first, so I need to count the votes, but I kept seeing this come up, so this is probably going to be it. My friend Kat from Bambina Katarina recently read this and she said it's amazing, so she has made me really, really want to pick this one up first, but I just don't know. I really can't make my mind up. There's a lot of pressure on this decision for my first coho book, so I don't know. The other 2 are It Ends With Us, which I believe follows like kind of like relationships. People say it's romance, but apparently it isn't. Apparently it's actually kind of about healing from trauma and like things like that. So I don't know, but I know there's a bit of romance in here and it's very, very emotional. And then we have Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, again another story that's kind of like a love story. It's really, really emotional. So yes, I'm not going to go into what they're about because everyone has probably read these books besides me. Putting these Colleen Hoover books on my TBR, might read them, might not, we'll see. And I also have this one, which is her newest one, I believe, which is Reminders of Him. Believe this makes you bawl your eyes out, so not sure if I want to read that in February. Now we're down to 2 manga and a poetry book. So I have this manga here, which is called Fiancé of the Wizard, and this is a romance manga. It basically follows this girl who ends up meeting a wizard and becoming his fiancé. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. I've heard it's a really cute manga series. And I have She and Her Cat by Makoto Shinkai. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Recently read 5 centimeters per second by this person and really enjoyed it, so I recently bought this one and I really want to read it. It's quite a short manga. It basically just follows a woman going through loads of different things in her life and day-to-day life with her cat, and yeah, just really want to read it. Thought it'd be fun. So this one is on my TBR, definitely going to get to that one. And then lastly is this poetry book, which is Flower Crowns and Fearsome Things by Amanda Lovelace. So I saw this come into work and I was immediately like, oh my god, the cover, and almost bought it because, like, look at this inside. It's just so pretty and I love pretty things. Like, I saw a poem or two and it sounded like breakup poetry and I was like, yeah, I don't need that, like, no. I didn't get it, but I didn't properly look at the other poems. And then my friend Kat, I don't know if she posted it in one of our group chats or something about it, or it was like on her story and we were talking about it, I can't remember. But my friend Kat, who I just mentioned before, I actually bought it because she also works in a bookshop and she'd seen it come in and decided to get it. So I messaged her and I was like, oh my god, I almost bought it. She was like, you should definitely get it. Apparently it's inspired by Persephone, and you guys know I love Persephone and Hades. Like, I love anything to do with Persephone. And when she said that, I was like, right, okay, I'll get it tomorrow when I go into work. So I bought it just based off that. But Kat read out a few poems from it in her vlog and they sounded stunning, so I'm really excited. I have been reading more poetry in the last like year, so yeah, I want to read this one in February because it just sounds really good. I do have my eye on a couple of romance, like love poem books, but I don't know for sure if I'm going to get them, but I might do and read those as well. So follow my Goodreads if you do want to find out what I actually end up reading in February. So if I read any other things that are romance related, you can see that. But yes, that is everything that is on my very big February TBR. This is a very long video, but I hope you guys maybe got some inspiration to put stuff on your TBR, or you heard of books you might not have before, or you just got excited to see me talk about certain books. But yes, I will be hopefully weekly vlogging, so I will mention any books I read in those. Like I said, I may do a Colleen Hoover themed reading vlog. Don't know if it will be for multiple books of hers or one, and I will potentially be doing a 24 or 48 hour readathon reading romance books, so that should be coming soon. But everything else I will just mention in my kind of vlogs that come up throughout the month. And of course my spoiler filled reading vlog for Zodiac Academy will be going up on Patreon towards the end of the month. So yes, all of that is coming your way in the near future. Very excited for February. Love romance books, so yeah, February is the perfect month for romance and cannot wait for it. Hopefully I can read a lot because I read romance quite quickly compared to other books, so hopefully I will fly through a lot of books because of that. And like I said, I'm going on this trip, so hopefully I can read a lot during that trip. But yes, so excited for all of these books on this TBR. Just want to read so many books at the moment. I'm just like, don't know where to start, to be honest. Yes, let me know in the comments what books you will be reading in February. If you're reading romance books, let me know as well. If you have any romance recommendations, leave them down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and leave a kind of romance love related emoji in the comments if you made it this far. I will leave the link to my Patreon down below, where you can find buddy reads, you can find videos and vlogs and a Discord and many other things. That is all on my Patreon. All of my social media will be listed in the description box as well, and I will try to list all of these books. But yes, I hope you guys are all safe and well. I hope you're reading lots of good romance books in February, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!